So a few years back, I was sitting there busting Dwight's balls like I always do. And I was like, man, are you ever going to give us that bear for we can complete our winter guard? And he's like, you want the Ursa Major or you want the Grizzly? I'm like, I want the Major. And then I was thinking, wait a second, if there's two bears and they can reuse parts, we're definitely going to get that bear. So I scrolled through the gram. I saw that our local toy store had these things, and I was like, whew, they're going to be pricey. They're going to be pricey. Don't do it. And I was sitting there going, man, I got nothing to do today but jerk off and play video games. Let me give them a call and see if they got any in stock. I called them up. I go, hey, you got any of those left? He said, yeah, we do. And I go, you got a set? And he's like, yeah. I go, you got two sets? I'll pick up my boy Brock a set. And he said, yeah. Go down there, $25 each plus tax. And I'm like, it's not too bad if Target raises the price to $22.99, but I don't think that they did. I think that they're still $20 because when I got the Villains Wave, they were $20, not $22.99. I know I'm pinching pennies here, but at the end of the year, every penny counts. Went down there, got them. So the whole set down there was an extra $35. And I was sitting there going, an extra $35. How long have I been wanting to put this Winter Guard team together? Money well spent. I'm really excited about the wave. We got the Dark Star. You finally get to put a decent Winter Guard team together. I know that there's other characters, other versions of the team, but when you look at these teams, it's basically pick a lineup because the teams are always evolving. This is like my favorite team. Like these four characters together. It'd be nice to add a Black Widow, but it'd be nice to add other characters. But I'll put that together at the end of the video if I can wait that long because I've been waiting so long to do it. The rest of them, we got a lot of first-time versions of characters. It's kind of a cool wave. It's a lot of Iron Mans. Like 2 Iron Mans max, but just like 3-4 Iron Mans out of 7 figures. That's a lot. 8 figures with the Build-A-Figure. Enough of this rambling. Let's check this shit out.
It's not the first time I've seen the side of you. I'm through, and now you're walking on such a thin line, and I'm about to lose my nerve when all of this has cost me so much. Now leaving in the dust everything we had, you threw it away, and I have wasted too much love.
All right, is it me or does it feel like we just got that Villains Wave like a week ago? Oh wait, we did just get it last week. The upside, if you're still looking for the Villains Wave and going to the stores, there's a very good possibility you might see this and that set at the same time. Your wallet will be broke when you leave, but you'll have tons of figures to play with when you get home. Starting out here from my favorite to my least favorite, this Ursa Major, this thing is just truly remarkable. It's a first time getting this character, first time getting this mold. I'm really excited about it. The thing is truly amazing. Then you have the Dark Star. It's basically just a repaint with a new head, but it's a new character, and it's a character that's much needed in your collection. And my third favorite is the Ironheart, which is a character that I was really never wanted in my collection. But after getting that thing out, playing with her for a little bit, she is really amazing. First time getting her, first time getting that mold. That toy, it's one of the best Iron Mans. I hate to admit it. The thing is really good. We'll take a closer look at that in a second. Then you have the Volksguardman. It's basically just a repaint with a new head, but it's a new character, so it's a win. Then you have the Ultron back here. I didn't really feel like I needed a new Ultron, but I really like that 90s look. I looked at some of my other ones, which I'll pull those out in a second. So the Ultron is actually really cool. Then you have the modular Iron Man. Once again, that wasn't really something I was like, I really wish they'd redo that modular Iron Man. I pulled out the old one, and you're like, wow, this thing is a lot better. So I'm really not that bitter when they redo my old figures anymore. When I look at my old figure and the new figure, and the old figure, like, I don't even want to put it on my shelf. Like, it's just complete garbage. That thing's cool. If that's like one of your favorite Iron Mans, you're probably pretty stoked right now. Then you have the hologram one, which I was like, I mean, it looks amazing. It's going to look amazing on the shelf. But I kind of feel like we just got a hologram Iron Man. If they would have did this thing in like a year or two from now, it would have been like more exciting, and I would have looked forward to it more, even though it's just a repaint of a figure that I already have. It is cool. It's just kind of whatever. Then you have the Stealth Iron Man. We got tons of Stealth Iron Man. Well, when I say ton, I think 2. But I have tons of Blue Iron Man. You knew this thing was coming when they had that. It's a cool figure. It's a must need in your collection. Like, you take your other ones, you throw those away, and then you just put this in. Because I'm trying to get rid of some toys, and then like I got this, and I'm like, yeah, I really don't need these other 2 on my shelf. Let's take a closer look at these. All right, so for this Ursa Major, I went ahead and pulled out the Hulk, and also pulled out Sasquatch in case you were curious if those things are sharing body parts. Doesn't look like to me they are. This thing, this might be like figure of the year for 21 for me. This thing is truly amazing. No pins in the articulation other than that one right there in his leg. He's got single knees here, which I don't do articulation, but everything's new, so I kind of feel like I need to. The feet on it are pretty good. It's got like a swivel, rotates there. It's got that cut in the thigh, which I don't really like, but that's how they put it together, and that's kind of like their thigh swivel. It just kind of sticks. I don't really like the line there because I don't like it when the fur doesn't line up. I like that the bear kind of has like a belly on it. So, because I was thinking of Sasquatch, and he's like, here's Sasquatch. Like, so you can see he's skinny, and the bear is fat. The legs are different, the arms are different, the head, everything on it is different. So it doesn't share any parts with the Sasquatch. So there he is. Get him out of here. Let's go back to this bear. Look at the head sculpt on there. So when you pop the head off, inside the head is pink for the tongue, so they didn't have to paint the tongue. Look at that. That is so good. They actually did a really good job painting the teeth. They actually have they're like actually putting a little love in the paint job. Maybe if they increase the price, they'll increase the quality. And if they do that, I'm kind of on board with it. You kind of see like the black shadowing here, like on the muscle tone, really helps bring it out. Like I got to paint my stomach like that. Maybe I'll look more like that, like, you know, probably not. And then on the hand articulation, this is something that I thought was kind of weird. So when you put this down, it looks like he can kind of like get on all fours. But then this weird thing kind of sticks out like that. Like, I don't really like that too much, but it is cool that, sorry, figures are tipping over everywhere. It's cool because you get tons of movement there, but if you're like, you know, you want to pose it, you take pictures of it, that just doesn't look very good. But this thing is, God, look at this. It's just so good. This separate piece clips on the back, so I don't know how they're going to reuse that because there's going to be holes in the back, like, if you take that off. It looks good, though. It doesn't really bother me how it clips on there. Hold on. I knew I shouldn't have taken that thing off. Here's the bear. The articulation on the bear is actually really good. It's got these big shoulders that move a lot. The ab crunch works pretty good on it. Bicep swivel, single elbow, no pins, so that's a payoff for me. God, this thing, I just love it so much. Like, I'm going to be messing with this thing for a while. I can't wait to put that Winter Guard team together. Here he is next to the Hulk, where you can kind of see like a Hulk size comparison. I got to get some figures out of here. These things are tipping over everywhere. Then you have the Dark Star. She comes with a few extra set of hands. I mean, kind of take your pick. I always like these hands. I know they're magical hands. They've used them before. I got that head sculpt. God, that flesh tone is absolutely perfect. Look at the yellow eyes on it. Oh. They killed it. Articulation on this, I'm sure you know how it works. This piece is kind of soft, so you can move it around. She's dark. I mean, she's amazing. She's just a crappy repaint, but she's amazing. You guys, you finally get to put your Winter Guard together. This is a big day for the toy world. Then you have this Ironheart. She does come with extra hands, so you can do like a fisted hand or like an open hand. On these open hands, they kind of suck because, these other Ironmans are like that too. These things don't move. They just kind of sit there. So if you want to mess around with that, you might break it off. This one is articulated. I don't know why they do one and not the other. Let me get her out of her little stand here. I went ahead and put the fisted hand on here for I could put the helmet on her fist where it'll actually stay on there pretty good. Look at the head sculpt on this. Once again, that's just truly amazing. Let's go over articulation on this, which I normally don't do. And this smoke effect, first time they've did that, really, really like that. The head articulation, kind of the same. Up here on the shoulders, that works the same. But God, look how good this figure looks. Just really, really nice. Bicep swivel up here, which I love that. Here's her double jointed elbows that everybody is complaining about. You got to kind of get this bottom one to go. And then, so all you guys that were screaming about that, hope you're happy because you got it. I actually like it, man. It looks pretty good. Like, I always like the single jointed elbow better, like that. But after seeing this, I kind of don't like this anymore. So maybe I was wrong the whole time. This is definitely better. I'm sure that it costs them more money because it's more parts, but there you go, guys. You wanted it. You finally got it. You know how the hands work. The ab crunch here. I love that when they do this ab crunch. That works really well. Up here at the thighs, that moves really good. The thigh cut here, I don't really particularly like because then the armor doesn't line up. It's got the double jointed knee. Once again, a completely pinless action figure. This thing's amazing. I don't know how they're going to reuse this or who they're going to reuse it for. Maybe they'll try to do like a new like rescue or something, which I have the original one. On these double jointed knees, you got to get that first one to get moving, and then, man, that is really good. Really, really impressed with that. They absolutely killed it. Then down here on the ankle, same thing there. I don't want to put these things on again, but God, that smoke effect works really good. There she is. Let's get her out of here. Then you have this Volt Guardsman. Look at that green. That thing looks really good. I really like that. Went with an older body mold, so you got the pins in it. It's kind of whatever. I wouldn't mind getting like 2 more of these. I know I just spent way too much money on this, but who knows when they... I would like to get 2. That thing's pretty cool. Definitely like it. That green is truly amazing. And then for the Ultron, I'll go ahead and pull out some of these other Ultrons. Let me try to scoot some of this stuff. Here's the helmet. I'll just set this up as we go. I didn't want to do 20 clips like I did on the last one because the video was just way too long. This is the Ultron. This was my favorite comic book Ultron. So you put these two together, and then you have this old one with this little flight thing. I really like this. Like, I kind of like, he's a robot, so the balls on the legs didn't bother me. But then when you look at the silver paint on this and the silver paint on this, like, I don't know. In camera, they actually both look really good. But in person, this one looks better. I like this because all these lines are sculpted on and they're painted on. These ones are sculpted on. They're pretty good about sculpting lines in there. So I don't know how they're going to reuse this. It's got this little blast of fire effect thing in his mouth. You just kind of shove it in there, which is cool. I really like this. Like, that thing actually looks really good. Here's this Ultron, and then all these ones in the back. Like, the gold one was like some weird exclusive thing. I got him out of China for, I don't know, 20 bucks. He wasn't very expensive. Then you have this one with this little robot flying thing, which I don't know why he needs that, but there he is. That one's actually kind of cool too. And this is just the silver version of that. And this is like just some weird one. And I don't know, like, I'm trying to like just make my collection a little bit smaller. So if I was only going to display one, I kind of like these two about the same. I could probably put that effect in that. I definitely like the size better on that. I don't know, man. You guys tell me. It even has like that little niche right there. I don't feel like they needed to do a redo on this. I mean, it's Ultron. Everybody loves Ultron, but I'm thinking I like the old one better. It just is what it is, guys. Like, that thing's still an amazing action figure. And where were we? With the modular Iron Man, I went ahead and pulled out the old one. This one's super small. Looks like shit. Look at those balls on his thighs. Like, this was in like a 2-pack with the Mandarin. Whew, like, I don't even want to put this thing back on the shelf. It's just horrible. Then you take a look at this thing. This thing is also really good. The articulation on this, they killed it. This is another completely pinless action figure, which Ultron was also. I know I'm bouncing back and forth, but sorry about that. Just trying to wrap this shit up quick. This thing looks good, man. Where's the other one? The old one. I I know I keep going back to that, but there's no pins there. They only have like the 2 pins on the knees. They were kind of ahead of their time on that one. This thing, the articulation, it's got the double jointed knee here. I just showed you how that worked. Look, this is where this figure shines right here. Look at this boot. Oh my God, that is articulation perfection right there. I love when they do stuff like that. The double jointed knee, I haven't really broke it in yet. Goes back all the way. Works really good. Double jointed elbows, those work pretty good. Cut here. Figure's really nice, man. They give you these blast effects with like basically every Iron Man you own now. And then we'll come down here to the hologram one. We just got this. This was like when Tony like cut out for a minute or forever, and then he was training Ironheart, the new girl Iron Man. So this IE Iron Man was like training her. I don't know if this is related to this. I don't think that it is, but I figure since we just got this and then we got this, it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, they're both cool. I wanted them both in my collection, obviously. And if you're wondering where this came from, it's just this figure. Let me crank that camera up. Redone in blue. So it's cool. I don't know. It's kind of really not that big of a deal. Then moving down here, we have the Stealth Iron Mans. This is like an older one that we have, so he's kind of small. And like, once again, I don't really want to put that thing back on my shelf. Then you have this one, which I always thought this one kind of holds up. His arms are kind of long, but he doesn't have those weird, ugly balls there. I don't know. I like this one. I still kind of like this one. And then back here, I'll just put the camera over there. That's the Mezco version of it, which that thing's truly amazing. It's kind of big, though. Now let's go ahead and take a look at him. He's got a little battle damage on his chest, but it's better than my boy Brock because he took his thing out of the package and it just completely disintegrated right here at the crotch and the legs fell off. So that sucks. Now he has to return it, and that's never fun, especially when it's in like a toy store, like a comic book store. They just don't want to get down like that. But this blue on this, I'm not real sure how they did it, but man, they just absolutely killed it. This thing is really cool. Definitely like it. Granted, it's just this thing repainted, but that's what it should be. It's kind of cool. Let's put that winter guard together. All right, final thoughts on this set. I actually like it. I mean, I wasn't that excited about it just because it's just so many Iron Mans. But there's tons of new characters in the collection. There's tons of new versions of collections. Like, basically, everything's kind of new. So it's a pretty good wave, man. After the last set, the Villains Wave, that's a hard, tough act to follow. But now we get to put the Winter Guard together. You know what? Let's just put the Winter Guard together. All right, so here we go. This is the long-awaited Winter Guard. I've been waiting to do this thing forever. If you don't like this Crimson Dynamo, you can put in this Crimson Dynamo. I just kind of felt like that one was a little bit more accurate. I know, like, it doesn't really seem like either one of these is the right one for the team, but the big one I think is a little bit closer for the team, for the lineup that I'm trying to put together. I definitely like that Crimson Dynamo. Plus that figure is just too good to not put in a team. So there it is. You have the Red Guardian, Crimson Dynamo, Ursa Major, Dark Star up top. That thing, one more team down, guys. Maybe we will get to the Inhumans. I mean, it'll be like 10 years from now. Sorry if the video was bouncing all over the place and probably way too long. But I was kind of excited to get this set. Thanks for watching.